roofing subcontractors deserve to get paid what they're worth, right? So the challenge that Joe and I always have with the subcontractor kind of conversation is that they're paid by the job, not by the hour. So we don't get to control everything that they do. So you, as a subcontractor that we want to work for us, it's important that you do what we promised our customers to do, right? So the way that Sargeant's Roofing started was that I'd owned a business before, I'd sold a business, I had no marketing, I knew Facebook ads, I knew brand, I knew all this stuff about business, right? But you can't start a roofing company without understanding roofing, right? And Joe and I have been best friends for
it's been like 16.
Well, now it's 16, so it was like 10 years at the time.
Yeah.
And so we were like, hey, we should start a business together. And he was working for a boss that things weren't really going the way that he wanted to because they'd sold the company to this new guy about roofing. So that was really the proof that I needed to know that I wasn't going to start one on my own. And why do something without your best friend? So we did.
Exactly.
We did it together. So what I want to do in this video is talk about what we see the problem is, and I mean we've spent a lot of time working on the way that we actually hire and manage subcontractors to make it better. So from a roofer's perspective, right? What do you think the problem is? I guess share with the subcontractors out there what you think the reason is why they don't always get the better end of the deal. Because at the end of the day, this is about them and why we think they should work for us.
So subs, as far as they go, they get the crappier end of the deal because a lot of times the company will sell jobs and then they'll delegate those jobs to the subs, you guys. They'll sell it for as much as they can, but they want to pay you guys as little as possible. The problem in that is, obviously, you guys have your business that you're trying to run and keep your guys, and you have your own headaches and WCB and all sorts of stuff that you guys got to pay for. And you are stuck with the position now of a lot of times being trapped making the decision of having to cut corners. And we all know this. I'm not pointing out and saying anybody's names or anything like that.
It's the problem. It's this international.
It's the real. That's the reality of the situation. Is that you obviously have your own headaches, and you're like, okay, where am I going to cut costs? And at the end of the day, that's going to affect the customer because they're not going to get the best quality job that the said company, we'll use us as an example, claimed that we were going to give them. So for us, we want to make sure that we pay our subcontractors what they feel that they're worth, and we ask them what they feel that they're worth because we know they're trying to build a business. We want to have a long-term relationship with these guys, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and really, in my opinion, it comes down a lot to because for years we didn't subcontract, right? Because in our opinion, when we're trying to build a business and build a brand, you don't leave your brand out to whoever, to the lowest bidder.
Exactly.
Certainly. You don't leave your company and your reputation and your customers out hanging just for whoever will show up for the job. So we have our in-house crews, and we still have in-house crews, right? So you're not competing against our in-house crews, but it is important to have all tools in the tool belt as a roofing company because, for example, last year, 57 days of rain, you need to be able to adjust for the, there's Thanos getting in the video. This is what happens when you go live. You can't control everything. Hey, Thanos, come here. Lay down. Yeah, just lay down. So, see, now he wants to be involved. Why don't you look at the camera?
Look that way. Look that way.
He wants to get close to me. So if you don't have good planning and you don't have good communication, right, and you set yourself up for failure, what you're going to have is you're going to have win, lose. And that was why we didn't subcontract, was because you're always trying to, we have to pay our guys by the hour. But here's the problem. Sometimes you're paying guys too much for easy jobs and paying them, too little for hard jobs because you're just paying by the hour. The great thing about subcontracting is you can pay the right crew with the right skills for the right job. Some crews are worth a little more because they have the ability to do certain kinds of jobs. Other crews are a little more affordable, so you can be competitive in the market and still get the right job done. But a lot of subs, we hear they don't like certain things, like they want to get paid on time, right? But also the agreements aren't very fair, right?
Exactly. So we want to make sure we have proper agreements with our guys that's fair for you and fair for us, so it's a win-win for both of us. But we want to make sure it's a win-win-win for the customer as well, right? That's the main thing.
That's where the no callbacks bonus comes from. So in addition to getting paid, what you're worth based on, the job complication and stuff like that, you're also getting a bonus for volume and see, Thanos always wants his glove, right? He always wants the gauntlet, but he doesn't get it. No, too bad.
You're getting a bonus for volume as well as quality. So no callbacks, you get a no callbacks bonus. So if in order for us to have a long-term relationship, we want to work with you guys, and obviously with our company, we have set standards and expectations, and our customers are willing to pay for those standards. We have the highest number of Google reviews out of all the roofing companies in Edmonton right now. By far. And as a result, we aren't the cheapest. You get what you pay for, and our customers know that. And we preach quality. And for the subs out there, if you guys are getting paid what you feel you're worth, you're going to be more inclined to do the right job.
And it's not just the job. It's the experience, right? It's showing up when we said you're going to show up. It's doing the kind of quality work that you said. It's how you conduct yourselves on site, right? I mean, you would be amazed when, if you as a sub are looking at maybe working for us, go read our Google reviews. You'll know what we expect, because people say, I love that the crew was so was smiling and singing and they look like they will enjoy working together. That they they're waving at the kids in the window. Really, our Google reviews are a template for what our expectations are. The agreement just puts that in writing, but then the no callbacks bonus, which gives you that incentive for volume and quality, that's what gives us a long-term agreement that says you're going to get paid more if you're upholding the brand. Because the thing that we're terrified of is losing our reputation. Yeah. Basically, we meet a customer, they say, hey, we read your reviews, we see what kind of company you are, we believe in you, right? We love the experience of buying the roof from you, you showed us everything, you made us understand it all. But then we leave it to some crew, and they show up and they're
totally
high, or they're smoking on site, or they drive all over people's grass. They're rude to the homeowners. They're not safe. They damage things and don't own up to it. They do all these kinds of things, and what ends up resulting is the customer's like, what I was promised, what I was told I was getting I didn't get what I paid for.
That's the last thing that we want. The last thing I want is somebody coming in and messing up our brand and my last name, because blood, sweat, and tears between both of us, and everyone that I've had on my in-house crews has established that brand, and we take it very seriously. So in order for us to have a relationship with any of you subs out there, we want the right subs, and we will pay the right amount for the right subs to deliver the quality that we promised our customers.
Yeah, and like how we do this is like we've traveled all over North America. So like you can find, you can see that we spoke with like Randy Brothers from Start Build Grow. We spoke with Latif from Boss Up Solutions. We spoke with Dimitri Lipinski from Roofing Insights. Right, all these guys own very successful roofing companies, even more successful than ours, and they have a strong subcontracting element to their business. And that's where we learn from, right? And then, like you and all the podcasts that you listen to, right?
Personal growth, because they even talk about it. We're not in the business of just putting roofs on. We're in the business of making people better. So if we have subs that are very talented individuals, we want those people. We want good people that we can make better people, and as a result, our customers are going to get good quality roofs put on. And then with personal growth, with us focusing on making our people better, here's one thing that everyone knows as far as roofers go and subs go. A lot of them have tax issues, and it's not because they're bad people. It's because no one taught them how to deal with taxes and the government and all that kind of stuff. So with us, we actually have an accountant that works with us that will help all of you guys, whoever decides to come work with us and who we approve to come work with us. We will help you with your taxes and set you up for success as opposed to failure.
With your business, because a lot of times, that's the reason you should subcontract, or that we look at as subcontracting. You're not subbing because you can't maintain crews. The reason is that the weather drops out on this every year, right? And there's a lot of guys out there who want to get paid what they're worth, but the market kind of says that you have to shut your company down because of the weather, right? And then what ends up there as a result is a lot of guys don't want to do marketing. They don't want to do branding. They don't want to pay for big deckled trucks. They don't want to have to deal with all the stuff like Google reviews and customer service, billing, invoicing, carrying the costs, having lines of credit, right? All these kinds of things that go into running a roofing company. but they're great at what they do. It's the trade that they've learned, and so they want to get paid what they're worth. The only way to do that is with this relationship.
Exactly.
And so that's the foundation upon which we do it. It's not about the money. It's not about getting the job and then seeing who we can get to do a good enough job for as little money as possible.
Exactly.
Because that's not going to make you happy to work for us. We want long term, right? And that's why when we hire you, we don't say, hey, this is what we pay per bundle, this is what we pay for the cap, this is what we pay for the ice and water, this is what we pay for Meadow Valleys, this is what we pay for this, right? We have some standards, but ultimately we say, what do you want in order to meet our expectations? And our customers are willing to pay for quality because they come here recognizing that we didn't get the reputation that we got by doing bad work, right? And by giving a bad experience. So, I mean, we want to meet you guys, right? We want to find out what you think that you deserve to get paid to do certain kinds of jobs, and we want to get involved. Holy smokes, Thanos is absolutely destroying his toy over there.
Just so you guys know as well, like, yes, we are going to ask you what you feel that you're worth, but everyone's obviously going to aim for the sky, and we get that. And as long as you guys understand, you guys are going to say what it is that you're wanting. We have a quality control department, aka myself, who's going to come and make sure that you guys can actually deliver on what it is you guys are saying that you can do for what you're wanting to get paid.
Yeah.
That's the reality of that situation, just to clarify that.
Yeah, because the customer, they're okay with the idea of, because the customer gets a vote. Right? At the end of the day, the customer gets a vote in what we do because they're the ones who decide to pay us. And if they're not comfortable with the idea of us giving you the job instead of our in-house crews, we have to look at that as a real decision, right? And how we run our business. And so a big part of that is that we have people with ownership mentality, like me, like you, like Bob, people who are going to actually be present on sites. Our brand is showing up. We're showing up to make sure the site's set up properly, that there's tarps everywhere, that things are being protected, that the furniture and what do you call it stuff, the patio stuff,
barbecues, all that kind of
gets
stuff.
moved out of the way. But then also that you're how do you say it? But that then you're prepping the roof properly. So it's not just quality checking after the job, right? And making sure your shingles are straight and there's no low nails. But we also want to make sure that you've prepped the roof in the way that we've said the roof will be prepped. And if you happen to make a mistake, like forget to put in a Meadow Valley, which we've done, that we catch it before the end of the job, because then you're not going to be as happy having to go and redo it. But then we also quality check at the end of the job and make sure the cleanup's done properly. So we're going to be very actively involved in what you're doing, because this is a relationship built on trust. The customer is trusting us that we're going to do a good job. We're trusting the customer that they're going to pay us when we're done. You're trusting that we're going to pay you. And at the end of the day, we're trusting you that you're going to take care of our reputation, our brand, and all the marketing and effort and energy that we've put in to build our company, that you're going to take that seriously. And if we can all win-win-win, then I'd love to hear from you. And I know Joe would too.
I definitely would too, guys.
And we can walk you through it. So when we're done, we're going to turn this video around, and you'll be able to click somewhere and apply to come be a sub with us. And we can certainly sit down, get to know you. You can get to know us, and hopefully we can build a business together.
Exactly.
And make sure that you have success, and so do we.
Exactly. We want to win-win-win for everybody, guys. That's what it boils down to.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks. See you next time.